What's the best tackle you ever went up against?
Jonathan Ogden. Jonathan Ogden by far, I would say, because I was lucky enough and unlucky enough, and however you want to look at it, is to play in the golden era of offensive tackle. I played against Willie Roaf, Hall of Famer, Walter Jones, Hall of Famer, Orlando Pace, Hall of Famer, Jonathan Ogden, Hall of Famer. I mean, that was the era of where, you better come with that serious work or you're going to get thrown out the club, like aggressively going against those types of guys. So for me, I think Jonathan Ogden was probably the top of that list. He was the corner that never came. He's a mountain of a man. So you go, and what I mean by the corner that never came, Key, is like, you trying to run around the corner, and usually you see daylight around the hip, and then you can turn. And I'm still running today. I still can't see that corner because he's so big and so long and so athletic. He's like a dancing bear. So thank God I had a spin move. I could go back the other way because I don't think I ever beat Jonathan Ogden outside of him, around him, because he's so long, he's so big. So I think if I think about all the guys that I played against, he was probably number one.
What was the toughest quarterback to sack?
I'm gonna give you two answers to that. All right. I think one surprising answer, there might be two surprising, but I think one, Tom Brady wasn't easy. And the reason being is because of how, from a system standpoint, they was getting rid of the ball under 2 seconds, period. They knew the strength of our defense. They knew what was going on. So I said, look, I don't care if you open or not, receiver, this ball is coming out. Done. So I think when you're playing against a guy like that, you better have your best move. And even if you have your best move dialed up and you win on your best move, you still may not get there. And that becomes very frustrating as a rusher because you understand is that this ball will not be on this man's hand because he does not want to get sacked. I think he's probably, one of the most underrated from that standpoint. People don't talk about it enough. And I think Steve McNair.
Air McNair,
he was country strong. And I would come around that corner and I would hit him. And I swear I felt like he hit me back. I mean, he is like hitting a wall. All right. And the thing is about him is he was also mobile. So he could also just be elusive, make you miss. So when you're trying to go and try to tackle that quarterback, you got to figure out what you're going to do because you can go ahead and try to hit him as hard as you possibly can, but he can make you miss. So if you then say, okay, you know what? Let me not go as hard as I can and just try to wrap him up, then he's going to throw you off. I think Steve is a beast, man.
Is there any quarterback that you would have loved to sack that you look back and you say, man, I wish I could get my motherfucking hands on him, and you just couldn't?
Oh, man. You know what? I wanted Brett Favre was one. I only played him once. He was with the Vikings at the time. And I just never got an opportunity to get him. He was just one guy on that list where I'm like, it'd be good to add Brett Favre to the list of quarterbacks that I've gotten. And I think I gave him a knee or something like that when I ran by him. I can't even remember. It was some type of glancing blow. But he was another guy who ain't want to get sacked. But that, you know how it is. You start getting older, you don't want to get touched. You don't want your body to get hurt, period. You want to get on to the next. So as soon as I played him, that ball was gone, man. 1.5 seconds.
When you were off the Colts, you didn't want to sack Peyton?
I mean, that's a constant.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, that is, look, when you're in practice, you get yelled at and screamed at if you within 5 yards of the man. Robert Matthews, he sent me a picture, I guess, when he played against them when he was at Denver. And it's the greatest picture in the world. Peyton getting killed by Marvin. I mean, by Robert, and his face is all twisted up, and it was awesome. But that's kind of like one of those things where we love you, Payne, but never got an opportunity to hit you. But Robert finally did. But it is what it is.
We absolutely hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more from us, hit that subscribe button for all videos, full episodes, and exclusive content from the show. And don't forget to find All Facts, No Breaks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.